Afternoon, this lovely afternoon, 70 degrees. Today we're going to be doing a repair video for Mr. Chopra. So right here you have our damaged shingle. This is where I'm going to be conducting the repair. If you look right here, you can actually see that this is the last shingle. So I know that's where the seam is, so this makes our job a whole lot easier. And we're on the back side. You can see a lot of damaged shingles over on the back. Got this tarp put up. Had a lot of shingles that flew up over here. I believe he had a leak as well. And then over here we also have some missing shingles close to the top and some along the middle as well. So let's go ahead and start by unsealing this shingle. Again, I know this is the end of the seam. You see right there in the corner. So let me go ahead and put this in my tripod. The angle's good. Alright. So the tools I'm going to be using today, we have our pry bar. It's a flat, real smooth end. And then you have a P-hook on the other end. We also have a roof snake that we're going to be using to lift up the shingles and put the nails in. This allows us not to lift it more than 40 degrees. And then we also have our hammer that we're going to be using to nail the shingle in. So let's go ahead and start by unsealing this shingle. So like I mentioned before, I noticed that this is a damaged shingle. Not wide, it is a damaged shingle, but I noticed over there on the end that you can see that this is the end of the seam. So I know that's where my shingle ends. So it is a little warmer today. Might be a little tougher. Might get some mat on the end of these. So this shingle is already open. It's our wind damaged shingle. Let's go ahead and start by unsealing the rest. I'm going to keep my palm on the shingle that I'm cutting off of the tar. And if I want to rest my fingers, I'm going to rest it on the shingle above it, never the same shingle. It's real good that I keep that steady palm pressure. That way it doesn't leave room for any slips or tears on the shingle. Let's go ahead and start unsealing. It's a little tougher. Ooh, these shingles are hot. Alright, so you got our first row there. Let's go ahead and start with our second row. And like I said, I keep my palm on the shingle that I'm cutting the tar line away, and I rest my fingers on the shingle above. That way we don't have any errors where we rip up the shingle or damage the shingle, leave any unnecessary damage. Right. Ooh, these shingles are burning. All right, one more row. So the top row is coming out a little bit smoother. Again, like I said, keep my palm rested on the shingle I'm cutting, just so I don't leave room for error. resting my fingers on the shingle above. All right, last shingle. All right, so that's all our shingles. I'm not sure if I got a close-up before I started the repair video. Here, let's get a close-up before we put those shingles on. All right, so you got our damaged shingle right here. Again, I know this is the end because you can see the seam right there at the corner. And then you have our shingles that are above it that we're gonna have to, that we had to unseal so we can remove this damaged shingle. So now let's go ahead and start by taking the nails out of this damaged shingle. All right, this is the before right here. Make sure that angle's good. Yep. Mike got caught on the crowbar. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna lift this shingle up, but I'm not gonna lift it up more than 40 degrees. I can just use my thumb to lift it up. Got my fingers rested on the shingle above. And just lift it up real slightly. Real slightly. Oh, slipping. Real slightly. Alright, so I know that's where my nail is. Go underneath. Alright, so it looks like this hole is a little bit bigger than the nail it punctured through. So we're gonna have to do what's called a love tap. Any tool you use, you'll just have to go ahead and tap the nail in just so I can get underneath it. Alright. Alright, so this might keep falling out. Take it out anyway. Go ahead and put that away. Alright, just gonna do some little taps just to get underneath that nail. Giving us a little bit of a hard time. Alright, but it looks like I got underneath it. Now, sometimes when it doesn't line up with the hole, you gotta push it down a little bit just with the pry bar, real gentle. Make sure it goes through that hole. Alright. And now, just go in there with the P-hook and pull that right out. I love these P-hooks. Alright, so this nail is right in between these two pieces. It's gonna go in real gentle. Looks like I'm gonna have to do another love tap. Alright, so I got that up. Yeah, these nails are giving me a little bit of a hard time. Hopefully the rest don't. Alright. Same thing. Right in between these two pieces. Just gonna go in real gentle. Real gentle, get the nail. Alright. I got that popped up. Press down a little bit. Shingle. Having a hard time. See it? Slow, Sonny. I got it. Another issue. Another love tap. Alright, gonna do some more love taps. Not too hard. Channel. Again, I'm lifting the shingle no more than 45 degrees. I keep my thumb on the shingle I'm lifting up, and my fingertips on the shingle both. Alright, that's the first row. Let's go ahead and get the last row. It's a little bit easier going there with one hand. That's the thing about these tools. You just go in there with one hand, just scoop the nail right up. Just like that, real smooth. Not lifting the shingle higher than it needs to be. Nail. lot of granule loss on this roof. Got me slipping. So the nails right there. Go in one-handed. Just like that, got the nail out. I am seeing some granule loss just from removing those nails and having to love tap it a little bit. Stubborn nails. Go ahead and start it by removing this shingle. Oh, missed one. Let me see. Yep, got one more. Alright, now that we got that shingle removed, still recording? Yep, good. Alright. So we got our damaged shingle right here. As you can see, you got these holes that are just from how they got the nails in, bigger than they needed to be. Ripped holes. Got some creasing at the top. Yeah, that's what was giving us a hard time. Had to hit some of those love taps. Alright, so now you guys got to look at the old shingle. Let's go ahead and put our new shingle. So we got our new shingle right here. Another 3-tab charcoal GAF. Alright, now let's go ahead and start by sealing this new shingle up. Sorry about that. So it looks like the phone overheated a little bit. So I got the shingle in. For the sake of time and for the sake of the phone overheating again, try to rush this up. Alright, so I got my roof snake right here. I'm not going to be lifting this shingle more than 40 degrees. I'm going to be putting this in brand new holes. Next. like I mentioned before, I am seeing a lot of granule loss hammering these shingles in. I am trying to be as gentle as possible. Last nail. Alright. Now that we got all the nails in, go ahead and get a closer look at the shingle. Alright, so you got the new shingle. Let me zoom out. So you got the new shingle that we put, and then the shingles above it. So like I said before, I was seeing a lot of creasing at the top, a lot of granule loss starting to occur just from putting that shingle in. Yeah, see right there all across the top. That's what you got. Got right here, right here, right here, 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 and here. All right. So with that being said, oh, looks like this one passed. But with that being said, I don't think that we're gonna be able to repair this shingle. Just going off of this repair, if we was to repair going upwards, we would run into the same issues. All right. Sorry about the phone overheating. Thank you for taking out the time to watch my new video. And as always, it's been a pleasure. But this is gonna be deemed a fail.